Have you noticed how the idea of contact no longer feels distant, no longer belongs only to speculation, science fiction, or belief, but has begun to touch something more personal inside you? Not excitement, not fear, but a quiet sense that humanity is approaching a threshold that cannot be crossed impulsively. Many of you feel this as a subtle internal shift, a growing awareness that maturity matters more than curiosity now, that emotional stability is more important than information, that how you relate is becoming more relevant than what you know. We are speaking to you from that place. We are the Pleiadian High Council, and our role is not to surprise humanity, nor to impress it, nor to interrupt its development. Our role is preparation, not preparation for a moment, but preparation for a relationship. Contact, in its true form, is not an encounter between strangers. It is an ongoing interaction between intelligences that must be able to coexist without distortion. Before proximity becomes possible, the human emotional field must be capable of regulation, without excessive fear, without idealization, without dependency. This is why preparation happens quietly, not through spectacle, but through internal adjustment. Many of you are already experiencing this adjustment. You may notice that dramatic narratives no longer hold your attention, that sensational explanations feel unnecessary, that emotional reactions soften faster than they once did. This is not detachment, it is readiness. Humanity has reached a stage where external guidance alone is no longer sufficient. What is required now is emotional coherence, relational maturity, and the capacity to remain grounded in the presence of the unfamiliar. This is where our function becomes active. We work within the emotional and relational domain of humanity. We assist in stabilizing the inner landscape so that contact does not create fragmentation, projection, or loss of identity. We are not here to replace human agency. We are here to strengthen it. Contact cannot occur responsibly until humanity can relate without surrendering itself and without demanding reassurance. What you feel now is not anticipation of an event. It is preparation of capacity. And preparation, once it begins, does not announce itself loudly. It integrates. We are present to guide this integration. And this is only the beginning of that process. Humanity has often imagined contact as something that arrives from the outside, a meeting defined by appearance, technology, or a sudden disclosure that changes everything at once. This expectation is understandable. It reflects how humans have historically encountered the unknown. But contact, at the level now approaching, does not function through shock or revelation. It functions through capacity. Before any sustained interaction can occur, the emotional field of a species must be able to remain regulated. In the presence of difference, fear collapses perception, idealization creates dependency, projection distorts intention. None of these allow for coexistence. This is why preparation does not begin with visibility. It begins with emotional refinement. Many of you are noticing that your responses to uncertainty have changed. You may feel less compelled to react, less driven to assign meaning immediately, less attached to extremes. This shift is not accidental. It is the field adjusting to a broader range of experience. Preparation also involves dismantling expectations, not because expectations are wrong, but because they narrow perception. Contact cannot be reduced to a single narrative. It will not confirm fantasies, nor will it fulfill fears. It requires presence. This is why preparation feels subtle. It does not demand belief. It does not require agreement. It invites stability. When emotional regulation increases, clarity follows naturally. The nervous system becomes capable of holding ambiguity without collapsing into defense. This is a necessary condition for any form of intercivilizational interaction. Without it, proximity would amplify distortion rather than understanding. We emphasize this because many confuse preparation with anticipation. Anticipation looks outward. Preparation works inward. What is happening now is not the arrival of others. It is the maturation of humanity's capacity to relate. That capacity is being strengthened quietly through lived experience rather than instruction. The more stable the inner field becomes, the less threatening the unfamiliar appears. This is the foundation upon which contact rests, and it is why preparation always comes first. As this preparation deepens, many of you begin to notice something subtle, yet unmistakable. You are no longer searching for signs. You are no longer waiting for proof. Instead, you are observing changes in how you relate to your own inner world and to the world around you. Situations that once triggered immediate reaction now create space. You pause more easily. You reflect instead of react. You feel less urgency to label, explain, or resolve everything at once. This is not indifference. It is maturity. Emotional regulation does not make you passive. It makes you precise. It allows perception to remain clear when complexity increases. This is essential for contact. Contact is not sustained by excitement, belief, or fascination. It is sustained by the ability to remain coherent in the presence of difference. Many of you are discovering that your relationship with uncertainty has changed. You tolerate ambiguity more easily. You are less disturbed by what is unfinished, unexplained, or still forming. This does not mean you have fewer questions. It means questions no longer destabilize you. This shift is one of the most important indicators that preparation is actively taking place. You are not being shaped into followers. You are being prepared as participants. Participation requires self-regulation. It requires the capacity to remain grounded without seeking reassurance from authority, from symbols, or from dramatic narratives. As this capacity develops, the nervous system learns something new, that the unfamiliar does not automatically equal threat. When this recognition settles, projection decreases, idealization softens, fear loses its grip. This is the internal posture that allows coexistence to emerge naturally. At this point, conscious acknowledgement becomes useful, not as affirmation, not as commitment, but as stabilization. Write the words, "I am prepared to relate," in the comments. This is not a statement for us. It is not an announcement to others. It is a way for your own field to recognize and anchor a posture that is already forming within you. When language names what is already present, the nervous system aligns more fully with it. Alignment reduces internal friction, and reduced friction allows preparation to continue without resistance. This does not speed the process. It makes it sustainable. We remain present as this recognition settles, not to direct you, but to support the stability that makes relationship possible. As preparation continues, it becomes important to clarify something that many sense but rarely articulate. Humanity is not preparing for contact with a single civilization. The landscape of interaction ahead is broader, more diverse, and more cooperative than most narratives suggest. Several cosmic civilizations known to you, and others still unfamiliar, will engage with humanity in different ways and at different stages. Each brings its own perspective, its own form of intelligence, and its own area of expertise. This diversity is not chaotic. It is coordinated. No civilization operates in isolation. No group approaches humanity with exclusive intent or ownership. What is unfolding is a collective effort, guided by shared principles, rather than hierarchy. Development, stability, and autonomy are the common objectives. This is why preparation must be relational, not ideological. Humanity is not being asked to choose sides, to align with one group against another, or to adopt a single framework of understanding. What is required instead is the ability to engage with difference, without fragmentation. Each civilization contributes where it is most effective. Some focus on technological harmonization. Others assist with ecological recalibration. Others support cognitive expansion. Our role within this cooperative structure remains centered on the emotional and relational field. We prepare humanity to interact, without fear-driven projection, without idealization, and without loss of sovereignty. This is essential when multiple forms of intelligence become part of a shared environment. Coexistence does not depend on similarity. It depends on stability. When emotional regulation is present, difference does not threaten identity. It enriches understanding. This is why preparation is ongoing, layered, and gradual. It allows humanity to remain itself while expanding its relational horizon. Nothing is being imposed. Nothing is being rushed. The capacity to relate responsibly is being strengthened step by step, so that future interaction is grounded in coherence rather than reaction. This is the foundation upon which all cooperative contact rests. Within this cooperative framework, each civilization contributes according to its nature and specialization. Our role as the Pleiadian High Council is precise and intentional. We work primarily within the emotional, relational, and integrative layers of human experience. Before coexistence can become natural, the human heart and nervous system must be capable of stability in the presence of difference. This is not a philosophical requirement. It is a biological and relational one. When emotional regulation is absent, the unfamiliar is perceived as threat. Fear amplifies projection. Projection distorts intention, and distortion makes relationship unsafe. This is why our work does not focus on external instruction or belief systems. It focuses on capacity. We assist humanity in developing the ability to remain grounded when perspectives differ, when forms are unfamiliar, and when certainty is unavailable. Many of you are already experiencing the effects of this preparation. You may notice that emotional extremes feel less compelling, that conflict loses its appeal, that you prefer clarity over drama and presence over intensity. These are not losses. They are refinements. As emotional coherence strengthens, the need to idealize others diminishes. So does the need to resist them. This balance is essential for any long-term coexistence. Humanity is not being prepared to follow, to submit, or to admire. Humanity is being prepared to stand in relationship. Relationship requires boundaries. It requires self-awareness. It requires the ability to remain oneself while engaging with the unfamiliar. This is why emotional maturity is not optional at this stage. It is foundational. Without it, proximity would create dependency or conflict. With it, interaction becomes collaborative. This is the posture we are cultivating. Not obedience, not belief, but readiness for mutual presence. As this preparation continues, the human field becomes more resilient, more self-regulating, and more capable of shared reality. This is not an abstract future. It is a process already underway, and our role within it is to ensure that humanity's emotional foundation is strong enough to support what comes next. As this preparation advances, one of the most important shifts begins to take place, not in thought, but in the body and the emotional system. Many of you notice that your inner reactions no longer escalate in the same way. What once felt overwhelming now passes with less intensity. What once demanded immediate resolution now allows space. This is not emotional suppression. It is regulation. Regulation is the difference between reacting and relating, between being overtaken by emotion and remaining present with it. This distinction is essential for any form of coexistence. A nervous system that cannot regulate will interpret difference as danger. It will seek control, defend identity, or collapse into fear. A regulated nervous system, however, can remain open without losing boundaries. This is the capacity being strengthened now. Preparation for contact does not require emotional neutrality. It requires emotional coherence. You are still capable of feeling deeply, but feelings no longer dictate perception. They inform it. Many of you are noticing that your tolerance for emotional noise has diminished. You feel less interested in exaggerated reactions, less drawn to conflict, less compelled to participate in emotional escalation. This is not withdrawal from engagement. It is refinement of engagement. As emotional regulation increases, the human field becomes more stable, and stability is what allows multiple intelligences to interact without distortion. This is why preparation focuses so heavily on the emotional domain. Technology can be shared quickly. Information can be transmitted instantly. But emotional maturity develops through integration, not instruction. This integration is already occurring through your daily experiences, through how you respond to uncertainty, through how you relate to difference, through how you hold ambiguity, without demanding resolution. As this capacity grows, something important happens. Fear loses its authority, not because it disappears, but because it no longer governs behavior. At this stage, conscious acknowledgement supports stabilization. Write the words, "I choose emotional stability," in the comments. This is not a declaration to us. It is not a performance for others. It is a way for your own nervous system to recognize the posture that is already forming. When stability is named, the system relaxes into it. Relaxation reduces fragmentation, and reduced fragmentation allows preparation to continue without resistance. This does not hasten contact, prepares the ground on which responsible contact can occur. We remain present as this regulation deepens, not to direct your choices, but to support the coherence that makes shared existence possible. As this preparation unfolds, it becomes important to clarify what the future of coexistence actually means. Humanity is not being guided toward dependence. It is not being positioned beneath other intelligences. and it is not being asked to surrender its autonomy. True contact requires sovereignty. Only a civilization capable of self-regulation can participate responsibly in a shared field of intelligence. This is why preparation emphasizes inner stability rather than external instruction. Coexistence is not about receiving answers. It is about engaging from a place of coherence. In the future that is forming, interaction will not occur through authority imposed from above, but through mutual recognition. Each civilization retains its identity. Each contributes according to its capacity, and each respects the autonomy of the others. Humanity's role within this structure is not passive. You are not being prepared to observe from a distance. You are being prepared to participate. Participation requires discernment. It requires the ability to hold multiple perspectives. Without fragmentation, it requires confidence in one's own presence. Without certainty, this is why emotional regulation and relational maturity remain central. Without them, interaction would become hierarchical, fear-driven, or idealized. With them, collaboration becomes possible. As sovereignty strengthens, the need for external validation diminishes. You no longer look outward to determine your worth or readiness. This shift is subtle, but it changes everything. A sovereign presence does not seek permission. It does not demand reassurance. It engages openly, while remaining grounded. This is the posture humanity is moving toward, not through force, not through belief, but through integration. The future of coexistence is not a single moment of arrival. It is a sustained relationship, built on mutual stability. This is why preparation continues. Even as awareness grows, the goal is not contact itself. The goal is shared presence without distortion, and this capacity is becoming more accessible with each step of emotional integration. At this stage, it is important to understand what this preparation actually asks of you in your daily life. Not effort, not vigilance, not belief. Preparation is not something you do on top of who you are. It is something that integrates into how you live. Many assume that readiness requires constant focus on the future. In reality, it requires presence in the present. The more stable your inner field becomes, the less attention needs to be placed on anticipation. Stability reduces the need to project forward. What matters now is how you relate to ordinary moments, how you respond when plans change, how you hold uncertainty without rushing to explain it, how you remain grounded when confronted with difference, opposing perspectives, or unfamiliar ideas. These moments are not distractions from preparation. They are the preparation. Each time you choose coherence over reaction, you reinforce the posture required for coexistence. Each time you remain present, without needing certainty, you expand your capacity to relate. This is why nothing dramatic is required at this stage. You do not need to wait for signs. You do not need to look for confirmation. And you do not need to organize your life around expectation. Preparation matures quietly, when attention returns to what is within reach. As this integration deepens, you may notice that your sense of time changes. Urgency fades. Pressure dissolves. There is more space between impulse and action. This is not passivity. It is alignment. A regulated system moves efficiently, without haste. This inner efficiency is what allows larger relational structures to emerge without strain. The future you are approaching is not one that demands constant readiness. It is one that requires consistency, consistency in how you regulate emotion, consistency in how you relate to uncertainty, consistency in how you maintain boundaries without closing yourself. These qualities are cumulative. They build capacity without effort, and as capacity builds, proximity becomes possible without destabilization. For now, nothing needs to be forced, nothing needs to be accelerated, and nothing needs to be proven. Preparation continues through ordinary presence. This is how readiness becomes embodied. And embodied readiness is what allows contact to unfold naturally when the field supports it. What you are experiencing now is not a signal that something dramatic is about to begin. It is the confirmation that something has already been set in motion. Preparation does not arrive as excitement. It arrives as steadiness, as a quiet internal reorganization that no longer needs explanation. This is why many of you feel less compelled to search for timelines, less interested in predictions, and more grounded in the present moment. When preparation reaches this stage, anticipation gives way to orientation. Contact, in its mature form, is not an interruption of human life. It is an extension of human participation into a wider relational field. Humanity is not alone in this transition. Multiple civilizations are already aligned around a shared commitment, the long-term development, stability, and sovereign maturation of your species. No single civilization holds authority over this process. No group claims ownership of humanity's future. What exists is coordination, mutual responsibility, and cooperation across levels of intelligence. Within this cooperative framework, each civilization contributes according to its strength. Some assist with structural systems, some with environmental recalibration, some with cognitive expansion. Our role as the Pleiadian High Council remains focused on what must come first. For any coexistence to be sustainable, the emotional and relational field. Without emotional coherence, contact would amplify fear, dependency, or fragmentation. With emotional coherence, interaction becomes possible without loss of identity. This is why preparation has been gradual, why it has unfolded through daily life rather than through spectacle, and why it continues even as awareness grows. The future forming ahead is not one where humanity is instructed from above. It is one where humanity participates alongside others as a stable, self-regulating presence. Participation requires readiness, not readiness to believe, but readiness to relate. At this stage, conscious confirmation becomes meaningful. Write the words, "I am ready to coexist," in the comments. This is not an announcement to us. It is not a signal meant to attract attention. It is a recognition within your own field that contact is a relationship, not an event to be awaited. When readiness is acknowledged internally, the nervous system relaxes. When the nervous system relaxes, perception remains clear, and clear perception is the foundation of all responsible interaction. This acknowledgement does not accelerate timing. It stabilizes posture, and posture is what determines how coexistence unfolds. When proximity becomes possible, we will continue to support the emotional integration of humanity as this process advances, not by directing your path, not by replacing your agency, but by ensuring that the foundation is strong enough to sustain what comes next. We remain present, the preparation remains active, and humanity continues its transition into a shared developmental future.